Ever wondered how to spice up your regular scalloped potatoes? Well, you're in for a treat. Welcome to a culinary journey that will take your taste buds on a fiery trip to the Deep South. Today, we're crafting a dish that marries the comfort of scalloped potatoes with the zest of Cajun cuisine. Hailing from the heart of Louisiana, this dish is unique in its bold flavors, thanks to a special ingredient, Tony's original Creole seasoning. Now let's acquaint ourselves with the ensemble of ingredients that will bring this dish to life. You'll need 2 pounds of either Yukon Gold or russet potatoes, 1 tablespoon of butter, and 3 cloves of minced garlic. To create the luscious, creamy base, we'll be using 1½ cups of heavy cream. The piece de resistance, however, is Tony's original Creole seasoning, which will infuse our dish with that authentic Cajun kick. And of course, we can't forget the crowning glory, 1 cup each of freshly grated cheddar and Parmesan cheese. Now that we're familiar with our ingredients, it's time to start cooking. The first step in creating this flavorful dish is preparing our potatoes. Now, we're working with Yukon Gold or russet potatoes here. Both varieties have a nice, hearty texture that holds up well in the baking process, and they soak up our creamy, garlicky, cheesy sauce beautifully. If you have a preference for either, feel free to go with that. First things first, we need to give our potatoes a good scrub. Dirt and other residues can hide in the smallest crevices, and we want our potatoes as clean as possible. You can use a vegetable brush or a clean sponge. Just make sure you're gentle not to bruise them. Once they are sparkling clean, it's time to peel. You can use a regular vegetable peeler for this task. What we're aiming for is a smooth, clean surface on each potato, so take your time and peel away all the skin. Now comes the slightly tricky part, slicing the potatoes. We want thin, uniform slices about 1/8 of an inch thick. This ensures even cooking and a perfectly tender bite in every forkful. A good sharp knife will do the trick, but if you have a mandolin slicer, that's even better. Just mind your fingers. Remember, we're aiming for consistency here. Uniform slices not only cook at the same rate, but they also stack neatly in our baking dish, making for a visually appealing dish. Don't rush this process. Take your time. Enjoy the rhythm of the knife slicing through the potato, the soft thud as each slice lands on the chopping board. It's almost meditative, isn't it? And there you have it. Clean, peeled, and perfectly sliced potatoes, ready to be transformed into a mouth-watering dish of Cajun scalloped potatoes. With our potatoes ready, let's move on to the next step. Next, we're going to create a creamy, garlicky sauce that will envelop our potatoes. Here's the secret to a sauce that's rich, velvety, and full of flavor. First, we'll start off with a tablespoon of butter. Melt this down in a pan over medium heat. You'll want to let it bubble and froth until it's completely melted and has started to sizzle. This is the base of our sauce, and it's going to add a wonderful depth of flavor to the dish. Now let's add in our minced garlic. 3 cloves should do the trick. You want to stir this into the butter until it's fully incorporated. Sauté it for a minute or two, just until it starts to release its aroma. The garlic will infuse the butter with its flavor, making this sauce a garlic lover's dream. But we're not stopping there. Next, we're going to slowly pour in 1½ cups of heavy cream. Add it in a steady stream, stirring as you pour to ensure it mixes well with the butter and garlic. This is where our sauce gets its rich, creamy texture. Now let's not forget about the star of the show, Tony's original Creole seasoning. This is where the magic happens. Add in a full tablespoon of this seasoning. It's going to give our sauce that incredible Cajun kick, infusing it with a blend of spices that will make your taste buds dance. Stir everything together until it's well mixed. You'll want to let it simmer for a few minutes until it thickens up a bit. Keep an eye on it. You don't want it to boil over or burn. And there you have it. A creamy, garlicky, Cajun-inspired sauce that's going to take our scalloped potatoes to the next level. With our sauce ready, it's time to combine our ingredients. Now, we're ready to assemble our dish, layering our potatoes in creamy sauce. Let's begin with our prepped baking dish. We're going to start with a layer of our thinly sliced Yukon Gold or russet potatoes, just enough to cover the bottom of our dish. You'll see that by layering, we're creating a structure that will hold all our flavors together and ensure every bite is as delicious as the next. Next, we take our creamy garlic sauce, that fragrant concoction we just made, and spoon it evenly over our potatoes. This sauce is going to seep down into the potatoes as they cook, infusing them with that rich, garlicky flavor and creamy texture. It's a wonderful symphony of taste that makes this dish so special. Now for the cheese. A generous sprinkle of freshly grated cheddar, followed by an equally generous sprinkle of Parmesan. The cheddar brings a lovely, smooth, and slightly sharp contrast to our creamy garlic sauce, while the Parmesan adds a wonderful depth and a slightly nutty flavor. This duo of cheeses is going to melt beautifully in the oven, creating a golden, bubbling top that's just irresistible. And now we simply repeat. Another layer of potatoes, another spoonful of our creamy garlic sauce, and another sprinkle of our cheddar and Parmesan cheese duo. Building these layers is not just about creating a pretty dish, it's about ensuring that the flavors are evenly distributed and that every forkful is a delight. Once your final layer is complete, we'll top it off with a last generous sprinkle of our cheeses. This will create that iconic golden and bubbly top that we're all looking forward to. And there we have it. Our dish is assembled and ready to go into the oven. The final step in creating our Cajun scalloped potatoes is baking them to perfection. Now, we've preheated our oven to a toasty 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Slide the baking dish, positioned on a baking sheet, into the oven. This will help catch any spills and keep our oven clean. Let the magic happen for about an hour or so. You'll know they're done when the potatoes are tender, the sauce is bubbling, and the top is a stunning golden brown. An easy way to check for doneness is to pierce the dish with a knife. If it slides through the potatoes easily, they're ready. Once baked to perfection, take a moment to appreciate the symphony of smells wafting through your kitchen. Let's allow our dish to cool for about 10 minutes. This helps the sauce to thicken a bit more, enhancing the flavors and texture of our dish. And now, for the grand finale, spoon out generous portions onto warm plates. The heat from the plates will complement the dish, keeping it warm as you savor every bite. And there you have it, a spicy, creamy, and utterly delicious Cajun scalloped potatoes. Enjoy.